Thank you for joining me today. You're here because you care about your foot and ankle health, and hopefully you want to improve your mobility, especially if you spend a lot of time on your feet, whether that's walking or running or hiking or even jumping, whatever that may be, because we need to make sure that we are able to move through the full range of motion of our feet. And all you need for today is your mat and a chair. A mat and a chair. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. So we're going to start sitting. Make sure you're comfortable, and if you're sitting in like a dining chair, you want to be sort of close to the edge of the chair. Try not to sit all the way back. You want your feet firmly planted on the floor. And we're going to do 1 foot at a time. So I'm going to go to my right side first, and you're going to hold your knee to make sure that your knee and your thigh bone and your hip doesn't create the movement. This has to be your foot and your ankle. So you're going to start just 1 foot at a time. Right foot, you're going to curl your toes. Now you may cramp here, okay? And that if that happens, just let go and wait for the cramp to go and then revisit it. You're going to curl your toes and only your ankle is going to move inwards. So your toes and your ankle is going to slide to the inside line of your body, your midline. All of your toenails should be down. So that big toenail, if it's down, if it's up, put it down and then come back to center and stretch your foot out. And we're going to repeat that. You want to feel no movement around your knee and no movement at the hip. You don't want to borrow this movement from your knee and hip joint. You want your ankle joint to do the work. Toes curl. Hopefully you feel your arch. How much range of motion do you have to move your foot, ankle to the inside line of your body? Come to center and stretch out. And again, toes curl. You want to feel like your toes are dragging along your mat or on your floor. Center and stretch your foot out. One more time. This is a little warm up before we do something called a foot wave. Okay. Go to the other side and also just notice which side feels easier. Keep your knees still. Curl your toes. It's like you're trying to drag your toenails towards your heel. Move your ankle inwards. Your big toenail must be down. Come to the center and stretch your foot out again. Curl your toes. You should feel your arch working. Hopefully not cramping, but it might. If you need to stop because it's very uncomfortable, then wait for it to go and return. Toes curl, and you want to make sure that all of your toes curl. So if they don't, maybe you just need to sort of use your hand to help you get those toes almost under your foot. Drag the ankle inwards, back to center, stretch your foot out. You've got 2 more. Remember, we're not looking to move knee to hip. We want the movement to be very clearly the ankle, targeting the ankle, of course the foot, but the ankle. And one more time. Inwards, center, and stretch your foot out. Okay, so we're going to go back to the right leg, and this time we're going to do something called a foot wave. So you're going to lean back a little bit so that you can sort of carry your leg and keep your foot off the ground. Now we're going to try and be really, really precise with this. You start with a relaxed foot. You're going to curl your toes in your direction, followed by flexing your ankle. Okay, so ankle flexion. Then you're going to curl your toes here and dive your foot forward. So you end up pointing. Stretch your toes out. Toes to you. Flex your ankle. Curl your toes here. Make sure all of your toes fold. And then strongly point your foot. Here's where you might feel the cramp. Stretch your toes out. Toes to you. Flex your ankle. Curl your toes. You want all of them to fold over. This is the toe curl you did just now on the floor. Point your foot, stretch your toes out. Try and be really precise with all of these movements. Toes to you, flex your ankle. Really curl those toes so you feel your arch, and then point your foot. Relax your toes. Okay, so now we're going to reverse that. So you're starting with a pointed foot. You really want to feel that the front of your ankle is open. And then you're going to curl your toes. Keep your toes curled as you flex your ankle as much as possible. Stretch your toes up here. Point your foot. Curl your toes. Keep them curled as you flex your ankle. Stretch your toes and point. So it's a foot wave. Curl your toes. Flex your ankle and stretch one more time. Now, if this doesn't feel smooth, because it might feel really challenging, especially if you're not used to doing that, take a second and relax. You're going to give yourself a bit of sensory feedback quickly. So go to the same foot, and I just want you to rub the ankle area fairly vigorously. You could also tap, but just give yourself some sensory skin stimulation. Okay, so you can rub around the whole foot, really, toes, but mostly the ankle, because I think the ankle bit is the hardest. But you can also go tapping, okay, a little bit of sort of vibration. And then we're going to repeat it a couple of times on that foot, okay? So when you're ready, we start with a relaxed foot. Toes to you, flex your ankle. Curl your toes, point your foot. We're also going a little quicker. Toes and toes to you. Flex your ankle. Toes curl, point your foot. Toes relax. Toes up towards you. That's toe extension. Flex your ankle. Curl your toes and point. So I don't know about you, but this feels way easier for me. So we're going to reverse the movement. So we're pointing your foot. Curl your toes here. Flex your ankle. Stretch your toes up. Point your foot. Toes curl. Flex your foot. It feels less ratchety, much more smooth. Point your foot. Toes curl. Flex, stretch, relax. We're going to do the same thing on the other foot. We will do some. We'll give ourselves the stimulation, the skin stimulation or the tapping, and then we'll repeat it. So you sort of want to lean back a little bit. So there's very little effort to hold that leg up. You can go at the back of the leg or the front. Okay, we're going to start by extending your toes. So you want to try and bring your toes in your direction. Then you flex your ankle. And then you curl your toes. And you want to get all of those toes to bend. And then you point your foot. You want to look for your fullest range of motion. Toes to you. Flex your ankle. Curl your toes. All of them need to fold over. Point your foot as strongly as you can from the front of the ankle. Relax your toes. Toes to you. Flex your ankle. Toes curl. You might have already noticed which foot feels easier. So we're going to reverse it now. So a relaxed, pointed foot. Curl your toes here. Flex your foot. Stretch your toes up. Point your foot. So toes pointing down towards the floor. Curl your toes. Flex your ankle. Stretch your toes. Toes towards the floor. Pointed foot. Curl your toes. Pull your ankle towards you, flexing your ankle. Stretch your toes one more time. Pointing, curl, flexing your foot, ankle, and relax your toes. Okay, go ahead and give yourself that rubbing around the ankle. You can go towards the toes. You can do a little bit of tapping. So we're just giving ourselves some sensory feedback to see if it helps improve the motor coordination of your foot wave. Okay, do it a little longer. It helped me on my other foot, so hopefully it has done the same for you. Okay, let's do a few more. So when you're ready, relaxed foot. First, bring your toes to you, toe extension, ankle flexion. And then you're going to curl your toes and point your foot. Relaxed toes, toes to you. Ankle flexion, toes curl, dive your foot forwards one more time, toe extension, toes to you, flex your ankle, toes curl all of them, point your foot. Let's reverse. So you're pointing your foot here. You're going to curl your toes, flex your ankle, toes up to the ceiling, point your foot, curl your toes, flex your foot. Toes to the ceiling. One more time. Point your foot. Curl your toes. Flex your foot. Stretch your toes. Well done. And stand up. Okay. Move your chair out of the way. You've got parallel feet. Next one. You've got to keep your weight across the balls of your feet. Can you lift all of your toes up? Spread them really wide. Lower your toes down. Lift your toes back up. Bring them together. Lower down. Now you might notice that you want your hands to do the same thing at the same time. Try and keep your hands quiet. Toes up. Spread your toes. Place your toes down. Lift your toes up. Bring them together. Lower down. So we're looking to see spaces between your toes. Toes up. Spread your toes as much as possible. Place them down. You want to be able to see gaps between your toes. Lift your toes, bring them together, lower them down. One more time. Toes up. Spread them out as wide as you can. Place your toes down. And just notice if you see more gaps on the right than the left. Lift your toes up, together, and lower. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to change our stance. So right leg forwards at a 45-degree angle, so you've got a bit of weight in this front leg. We're going to try and ignore the back foot, go to your front foot. So with some load through that front leg, you might notice it's a little harder to lift your toes, but you're going to try. Lift your toes, spread them, lower them down. Bring your toes together at the bottom. Lift your toes, spread them, and place them down, trying to get as much gaps between your feet as you can, your toes as you can. Toes up, bring them together. Spread them. Lower your toes down. Can you feel your fingers wanting to do the same thing? Bring your toes together, lift them. Spread them. Lower them down. This foot is not behaving. What about you? Toes together, lift them. Spread them. You're not lifting the balls of your feet. And lower them down. My big toe's finally listening. Okay, let's switch feet. What about you? Okay, so you want to feel that there's some body weight in your front leg. Let's say 60%, 40%. Okay, when you're ready, try and keep hands quiet and keep your back foot quiet. Toes up. Spread your toes. Lower them down. So much easier on this foot. Bring your toes together, lift them. Spread them again. Nice big gaps between your toes. Lower them down. Okay, we want to have this motor control. So through repetition, hopefully we're going to get better. Toes up. Spread them. Toes spreading, wider foot, wider base of support. Better balance. Toes together, lift them. Spread them. Lower them down. Can feel my hand wanting to get involved. Toes up together. Spread them. How much space can you see? And then lower down. Okay. Last exercise those were called toe spreads. Now we're going to do a ball of foot. I'm going to face this way. A ball of foot circles. Okay. So we want right leg again, and you're forwards on that 45-degree angle. So again, 60% body weight, 40% body weight, 2 straight feet, and you're going to begin with your heel raised. Now we're not going to lift the big toe or little toe side of your foot, and be aware of the ball of your foot and the weight of it in the ground. And you want to constantly feel that weight. So we're going to start thinking about a circle going from the outside to the inside. And you're going to move your hip, your knee, and your ankle outwards. You're going to come through center. This is over the ball of your foot. You're going to go to the inside of the circle, but don't lift the little toe side of your foot. Your heel drops closer to the ground, but don't let it actually touch the ground. We're going to go to the outside of the circle. Your heel starts to lift. You're at the front of the circle where your heel is high. You're on the inside of the circle where your heel starts to lower. And when you're back at center, your heel is lower to the ground. Outside of the circle, as if you're drawing a circle on the floor with the ball of your foot, but the ball of your foot stays down. We're going to start adding in a little bit of speed. And you have to do this with your hip, knee, and foot moving. So we need that motor control to go through a full range of motion in a circular fashion. We're going to go the other way. So you've got to go to the inside of the circle, which is where you're loaded more on the big toe side. Your heel is going to lift high when you're at the center. We've got to go to the outside of the circle, which is the little toe side, and your heel begins to lower closer to the ground, but don't let it touch the ground. You should really feel this work in the front leg. Inside, center of the circle, outside. So your heel goes from low to high. And you should feel that circular motion happening around the ball of your foot, your ankle, your knee, and your hip. If this feels too much loading the front leg, you can, of course, offload a little bit and take less of a long stance. Okay, that should not feel easy, I should say. That should definitely feel challenging. You're switching legs. So it's a step forwards at a 45-degree angle. And you want to bring as much body weight as you can handle through your front leg, and you begin with your lifted heel. Okay, think about your toe spreads. Give me some wide toes. We're going to go outside of the circle, to the center, to the inside. So your hip, your knee, and your foot and ankle go to the outside. To the center, your heel is still high. When you're coming to the inside of the circle, that's where your heel has to drop. Not completely. We're keeping your heel off the ground. We shouldn't really see any other movement happening, and you want to feel the weight changing to the little toe side, to the center, to the inside of your foot. Foot, ankle, hip, leg, all working to create this complex non-linear movement, which is great for your brain. Now we're going to change the direction. Inside of the circle, high heel at the center. Outside of the circle, the heel starts to lower. Don't let it actually touch the ground. You want to make sure that your knee and your hip are not doing all the work. You have to create the movement through your foot. It's called a ball of foot circle after all. And last one, that back leg might be working because you're really trying to straighten it and keep your heel on the ground. And step forwards. Okay, cool. Hopefully your feet feel fantastic. Your toes feel wider. Go for a walk and see how you feel. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're looking for more footwork, I love to incorporate this kind of stuff in my online classes as well as my strength program. So check out the description below, and I hope to see you again soon.